Hello, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. I have kinda to apologize for the last episode because the music was way too loud. It was actually almost as loud as I was, so I was quite barely to hear, or yeah, the music was a little bit overwhelming, and I tuned it now down a bit, and I hope now it's good, because I don't have the proper equipment to separate my audio recording from the microphone and the audio of the game. I it's just how it is. So I hope you don't mind it too much. I know there are others who can do it, but I have really not the means or the software to do it. So I hope you are not as angry as me. If I hope you as I hope no, as I think you are, and you can maybe understand that. And I'm also very short on time. That's why it's was in the past days a little bit inconsistent of everything. But yeah, let's stop doing that and just go back to this beautiful game and enjoy it as much as we can. Shall we? My morning alarm goes off, and I flail about uselessly for a while until I remember that I decided to give morning ones another shot. I don't know if this was my greatest idea, but I'm determined to keep going. This is about my health, after all. Things haven't been great lately for me, but that hasn't made existence so intolerable that I'm not going to try everything I can to stay healthy. Besides, it's all about asserting some kind of control over things, right? If I can manage that, well, I can manage anything. At least that's what I keep telling myself. That's a good attitude you have. Well, finally at least. Once again, it would appear that I'm not alone in my run. Amy has apparently been here for some time. What was her voice again? It looks like she's already worked up a good sweat. Just when the hell does she come down here anyway?
Oh, it's you! I'm surprised to see you again.
Why is that?
Well, not many people actually manage to come back for a second try.
She frowned, seemingly annoyed by a passing thought.
Like the rest of the track team, for instance. Still, it was only supposed to be on a volunteer basis, so it's not that big of a shock. And I guess it's pretty early in the morning.
A shrug, and suddenly it appears that she's forgotten what she was talking about. The phone disappears entirely, and she seems to snap back to her previous train of thought.
So, come on then.
What?
You're here to run again, right?
Well, yes.
So come on.
I find myself suddenly grabbed and yanked onto the track. Things seem to be set on mirroring yesterday's one. That is, I seem to be struggling while Amy moves with an effortlessness that I find enviable. Whatever that means. It's incredibly bothersome to be so easily worn out. I know I should be patient, work toward things gradually, but it's difficult to stay positive about this. We round the track and start on our second lap. Amy seems to have grown impatient, keeping pace with me, and begins to pull away. This is where I gave out yesterday. Will I be able to do more? Will I be able to do more? Will I be able to it? Actually, I pulled down the music, it's already getting loud. But will we do it? Of course we do. We want to impress her because I like her really a lot. So go for it. Just go for it. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you who believes in the me who believes in the One Piece. No, wait, that's the wrong abridged series episode of an anime, I know. Alright, go for it. But before I do that, I actually save. Always save. This is really, really, really important. Alright, did that. Go for it. What am I doing here? I'm really just going to fold and let Amy pull ahead? I speed up. The second lap's done quickly, and without even considering it, keep going. Without even considering it, I keep going. Amy looks back over her shoulder at me and grins.
Still going?
Want you to think I'm out of shape? Amy laughs without breaking her stride, no less, and speeds up even more. No, please don't do that. I will collapse. Well, if this is the way we are going to play things, I increases my own pace as well. I can feel my lungs burning, and my legs are starting to question just what the hell I think I'm doing. Lactic acid screams in my muscles, but I close my ears. I can't let myself fall behind, because that would be a loss. The rational voice in my head inquire mildly, just when we started playing a game. I'd answer it, but I'm having a lot of trouble thinking at present. She's so fast! Like Sonic! It's like a string pulling at my chest, a choking feeling of narrowness and pain. Oh, come on, wait. How the hell does she keep it? Ugh! It's like a string pulling at my chest, a choking feeling of narrowness and pain. I actually have my hand here, but you can't see it because of my shit red ton of microphone. Oh, wait. I'm doing something here. Ugh! I'm trying to get this a little bit higher up. No, this is a terrible idea. Alright, no, I will just try to keep this lower. Whatever. Let's get on with this. Oh, come on, please don't get a heart attack again. You're just running, man. Oh, damn! The doctor says we should take it easy. Oh, God. Before I can think of anything else, then, oh shit, the track disappears from under my feet. Oh, come on. Okay, we die. We will die now. I think we die. I stumble, one hand shooting down to clutch at my chest, the other hitting the track to keep me from falling on my face. Amy whirls around and her eyes widen in terror.
Hiso!
She yells at me, sprinting from the other side of the track.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Just... Oh, damn it. Keep your breathing steady. Calm down. Don't panic. Don't panic.
Do you need me to get the nurse?
Oh God, this is a really weird smile you're doing there. I close my eyes, shutting out the outside world. My heart struggles to regain its rhythm. Slowly, the pain in my chest begins to subside. Soon it's gone, like nothing happened. It was nothing? No, something happened there. I open my eyes again and glance at a very worried Amy. I think I'm fine. My voice sounds weird, even to myself, oddly even, and matter of fact, it makes Amy frown.
I don't think you are.
She seems to come to a decision and nods to herself.
Right, you're coming with me. You've got to see the nurse.
Amy grabs my arm and drags me up. I feel a bit wobbly, but I refuse the shoulder Amy offers for support. Why are you so dumb? Honestly, well, actually it was my fault. I'm a little ashamed by my own weakness. I'd really rather not have Amy concerned about me, but it seems to be too late. Heck, I'd really rather not have anyone concerned about my condition, though at this point, it seems to be too late for that as well. I'd like to be able to deal with the whole thing on my own, without being a bother to anyone else. While I'm wishing for things, I'd rather not have this condition in the first place.
Nurse!
Amy crashes into his office without knocking, but it doesn't alarm the nurse in the least. Good morning, sunshine. What up? Sunshine? Anyway, he calmly sips from his coffee mug, but lays it down after following Amy's gaze to me, looming in the doorway. Hiso? What brings you here?
We were running, and he stumbled over and started grabbing at this.
Too fast!
And started grabbing at his chest, and I thought I'd come get you and make him wait there. But he said he was okay, but then I thought you should see him anyway, and...
Easy there, Amy. Calm down. Hiso, what happened? I don't know. We were running, and then my chest started hurting, like the time before. It went away after a few seconds. It was just flutter or something. The nurse frowns as if to say that just a flutter is some kind of oxymoron. I didn't mean quite this when I suggested to get some exercise. You've got to be more careful, Hiso. I was being careful. Come to think of it, I just got into a race with a member of the track team. Doesn't seem as well reasoned as I thought it would. You just what?
That is...
I was racing Amy. Amy, is this true? Amy fidgets, looking adorable contrite.
Well...
Finally, she can't seem to bring herself to say it aloud, and merely nods. The nurse sighs and rubs his forehead with one hand tiredly. Amy, you've got to be more sensitive to the limits of others. I don't know if he told you, but Hiso has a bad heart, and getting him to race you was incredibly irresponsible. Actually, I started it. The nurse is stunned by my statement. You what? We were just running, and Amy started to pull away, and so I speed up to catch her. The nurse stares at the ceiling, mutters a prayer for patience to some god or another, and looks back down at the both of us. So you're both stupid. That's a comfort, I guess. Now come on, Hiso. I've got to make sure your heart's not going to explode or something. What's this weird background on his PC? I dutifully obey and follow him to the adjacent room, where we ascertain that I'm in fact not going to keel over and die. The music is so loud I can barely bear it, and I hope it doesn't fuck up me again. I really try to get louder to overwhelm the music, so it's a considerable amount. Don't know if this is a good idea, so... So, how does it feel? I don't know, nothing much. Tired, but it might be just from the exercise. You should stay here for a few hours and rest. We'll see how you feel after that. I'm not going to object, so I lie down on the infirmary bed. Oh, please, Amy, visit me. Please, please, please. A thoroughly miserably Amy comes in. Hiss! But I really feel bad for her to get her in this situation. After getting an earful from the nurse in the other room. What the fuck happened? I don't know what this was about. I couldn't hear what he said though. Through the closed door, but I'm sure it wasn't pleasantries.
Look, I'm really sorry. I should have been more careful.
Hey, you didn't know. It's not your fault. She looks awfully down and sorry, and my reassurance don't do anything much to cheer her up.
I want to make it up to you.
Again, with this decisive nod.
So you have to come to lunch with me. I bring it for you, okay? Something really, really good.
I start with a, you don't have to, but then shut up and just nod at her when I see her face.
Good. We meet on the roof.
We?
Yep, the weather's nice now, so the roof's a great spot for lunch, you know?
I see.
You come, right? You wouldn't deny me the chance to make it up to you?
Of course not.
Great! See you there!
Yes, we're getting it on! Finally! I know how visual novels normally go, and this is quite slow paced. Not that this is a bad thing. It's kind of more realistic than the other novels I've seen so far on other channels. So I'm really happy with it right now, and it's really, really well written. There's so much to laugh in it, and so much to laugh as well. I stay afloat somewhere between asleep and awake, feeling completely drained. Not only my body, but all of me is limp and paralyzed, apart from my senses. I swallow with difficulty and then try to lie as still as I can, which in this state is not a very hard thing to do. The nurse is shuffling around on the other side of the curtains. He drew to give me privacy. I can see his shadow shifting about in the sunlight. He has opened the window of his office. It's windy outside. The clean white curtains flutter in the breeze in a heavy, lazy motion, like waves. Light sifts through them slowly, half absorbing into the fabric. And we close our eyes. I close my eyes. The breeze on my face feels like the soft fabric of the curtains. I listen to the sound of my heartbeat for a moment, trying to shut out the sound of the nurse tapping away on his computer, and my own heavy breathing. It's steady. Damn it. Not even a week and I end up like this again. I really screwed up this time. Should have known better than to play the half-baked sports star in front of a real one. And why did I try to act brave? Like that heart flutter was no big deal, even when it was obvious that it was? Wait, and why did I try to act brave? Like that heart flutter was no big deal, even when I was obviously that it was. Oh, you know well, because I am controlling you, kind of. It was just a reflex to push it away, to keep it inside. I didn't want it to happen. I didn't want Amy to see it. Ah. Stupid, stupid, stupid! Yeah, it actually was of me. I have to be more careful, or we'll end up in the hospital again, or worse. ... That's my final thought before I give in to the tiredness. I feel asleep. I fell asleep. For how long? What time is it? I'm feeling like lightheaded and I keep blinking compulsively. Pushing the curtain aside, I squint my eyes against the unfiltered light pouring in from the window. The texture of the canvas feels nothing like the wind did before. The nurse looks up from his work, sitting exactly where he was before. How are you feeling? I can't really tell, so I don't answer anything. I'm feeling kinda groggy from falling asleep. It's such a weird time. Yeah, I totally know that feeling, so I stopped doing that. Hopefully, I don't look too weird. What time is it? Me croaking the question to gain some orientation, the nurse looking at his wristwatch before answering. Things seem to happen in slow motion. Well, it's actually... Don't know why I did that, sorry. 10:15. I try to think for a moment what that means, but I'm not really sure. 10:15, so it's 10:15. What's so hard to know about it? You didn't answer my question, he saw. Oh, fine. Climb down from that bed then, and let's see how you are doing. Don't... Oh god, no! I try to do exactly that, only to sway dizzily when I move too fast. The nurse moves to support me by an arm and sighs. Stand up too quickly. It's what I was going to say. Just sit there. I check your pressure to make sure. I got a totally different voice from him, but I try to get him a more serious voice than before. My good intentions sure lasted for a long time. I shut up, embarrassed with myself, while the nurse gets busy with an old-fashioned contraption and my arm. After a couple of minutes, he puts it away, looking neither pleased nor unhappy. You're alright. Head stopped spinning? Yeah. Good. And how are the contents doing? You didn't show every good judgment out there, he saw. You didn't show very good judgment out there, he saw. I swallow the retort I was going to make. It's what I was thinking myself, but hearing it stated by somebody else makes me want to protest. What he's saying is not pleasant to her. Doesn't make him any less right. No, sir. He nods, still looking as neutral as he was before. It would be easy to be angry at him if he said, "Told you so," or something, but he doesn't. I can try and help you to keep your health, but ultimately, the last call lies with you. Hopefully this little episode will be something that'll remind you of that. Here's a note for your teacher, to avoid an interrogation. I take the slip of paper he's offering, and then make my leave, as I can't think of anything else to say, nor even really want to. Stay out of trouble, you hear me? I don't think it was anything but a scare, but next time could be different. I hear you. There's some way to get to the school building straight from the auxiliary building, but I'm not keen to find out and possibly get lost. Come on, do it! You meet so interesting people if you do strange things. So I go out from the exit that I know works. I stop at the stairs of the auxiliary building, deliberating for a moment between going to the dorms to get my books and stuff and going straight away to the class. The sun stings my eyes, so I head towards the dorms. The halls are quiet, and the courtyard was naturally so since everyone is in class. I knock lightly at the door of 3-3 and push open the door when Muto calls from the other side. Sorry I'm late. 15 pairs of eyes turn to me. Good morning, Nakai. Muto seems to be somewhat confounded by my coming in late, as if I interrupted his flow or something. Judging from the rambling lectures his classes tend to be, that might be the case. I pass him the note the nurse gave me. Mutu takes it with a nod and reads it quickly. He lifts his eyebrows, gives me a kind of a stern look, but doesn't say anything, just nods solemnly again. I shrug, and he gestures at me to run along, so I naturally do. Didn't you read what was written on the text? I always look at what the doctor hands me except if it's in a thing, in a mail thing. Damn it, I can't seem to remember the word now. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of the school. I have even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overtly attentive. The first days, I was pretty high-strung in class. Muto finishes his lecture about electricity early, but continues without the pause about the festival. So, as you know, the festival is on the day after tomorrow. The day after tomorrow! I don't know if it was a good movie, but I saw that movie. I hope everyone's projects are going to be successful this year. Have a good time, but also come Sunday. Please keep the meaning of this festival in your minds. Games and fight food! Yes! For all the food! Everyone bursts out in laughter, and so do I! Yeah, games and fight food! That's all that is to the festival. Yes, thank you, Mikado. But what I meant was more... Really? I hate if it's doing that. But what I meant was more the... The remainder of this sentence is buried beneath the ring of the lunch bells, and everyone starts packing their things. Muthu deliberates for a moment, but since almost nobody seems to pay attention anymore, he gives up and sits down. And we are having our date with Amy. Oh God! It's crowded in the hallway, or as crowded as hallways in the school probably get. Most of the students seem to be heading down for the cafeteria. Normally I join the flow and grab a lunch myself, but today is different. Yes, it surely is. Today I've been invited to lunch on the roof. Yes, you are. An odd location, but that's where I was told to go. Fortunately, I managed to find shelter from the storm in the lee of the classroom door. Eventually, the torrent subsides, and I step tentatively out in the hallway, only to be met by Amy, who comes flouncing down the hallway like a cannonball. I came in like a cannonball. Yeah, I really did that. Sorry for that.
Hey, hi Hasu, Hisao. Great timing. I have super extra lunch today. As promised, let's go upstairs.
The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door, complete with missing padlock. I wonder who the intrepid individual was that removed the lock. Right, we got roofs. I was hoping the roof looked more pretty and cartoonish. Amy shoved the door open and steps beaming into the sunlight. Win! I knew I would know her! It's a double date! No, wait, that's a bad thing. Suddenly, a tall dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Amy flinches back, almost falling back down the stairs. I didn't really mention it, but Win told me about that he eats with someone on the roof, which is really into sports, and I already made the connection, and I can't remember if I already said it, that Amy is the one he's meeting with on occasionals with her here. Flinches back, almost falling back down the stairs on top of me, and we are ending up in an awkward position, but that will not happen. Eek! Hello. Hello.
Yips! You scared me, Win!
Wait, isn't she...
Hello.
Noticing that Win is speaking to me, Amy looks curiously at me.
You two know each other?
I look confusedly at Amy.
She's that friend of yours?
Win has turned her gaze towards the clouds drifting above the school.
I didn't know you knew this person, Amy. ...
The awkward silence lasts only for a few seconds until Amy lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off.
I invited Hisao for lunch. If you know him, that's just better. Oh, does this mean I don't get food? Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch? Neither. I have food for 3.
Nice thinking. They walk to the other end of the roof, while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. Yeah, totally taking in the atmosphere here. There's nobody else but us here. I guess the roof is not as popular as it is in other schools. A few rundown benches and tables are scattered around the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make the rooftop look less desolate. The small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. I peek through the chain-link fence to take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle and at the cafeteria. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school towards a convenience store nearby. Somewhere at Watchdog barks at a passerby. Somehow when I look towards the town center, the small town feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. The hectic lifestyle of big metropolises seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus like their life depended on it, or get their senses overloaded by the neon lights and traffic jams. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine. Looking at my new hometown, even if it's going to be mine for only one short year. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly. I haven't had time to think how I feel about it. When I step out the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warmth touching my back. The sun shines from a perfectly clear cerulean sky. A cool breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries the scent of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to, just a few weeks ago. Amy settles on a bench with Win in tow and produces one big and two small lunch boxes from her bag.
Come on, Hiso! What are you waiting for?
She's beckoning me to join them, making room on the already small bench. I guess I will get the big lunch box. I bet on it. God, don't get so close all of a sudden. Alright. I seat myself on the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all three of us fit on it. Impressive view. Amy suppresses a giggle and places a lunch in front of Win and hands another lunchbox to me.
Here you go! Lunch as promised!
Homemade no less. I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good.
Thanks! I make it myself when I can.
Conversation dies off as I set about the business of feeding myself. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Win deftly opening the lunchbox and popping a fork full of food into her mouth using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity. What has Oh yeah, dexterity, of course. Sorry. It's also a reminder of the sort of place I am in right now. Will I ever get used to sights such as this? I can't decide if I'm getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. You should get used to. People are different, even if they don't have things like that. Every people is different in their own way, and you have to get used to every people. And as soon as you get your head around it and get used to it, it's really a good thing. You shouldn't treat people socially different. Not at a grade that you think you should, at least. Well, that's at least I think, and I hope I kinda told it right, you know, but that's just my... What's that? My green screen freaking out? Oh no, but just my face. Be a good thing or a bad thing either. Thus getting used to this place meant that I'm giving up on being a normal person. No, totally not. How? Stop thinking stupid stuff like that. Come on. It's just... Or does it just mean that I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? Yes, you finally got it. I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emi tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestors. You seem pretty hungry. Emi looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding.
My morning one always works up an appetite. Which is great, because then I burn through lunch pretty quickly. Helps me keep my girlish figure.
Wait. Oh, I try to remember his voice.
What would happen if you'd lose it? Would you become a man?
This question can only come from someone like Win. I very nearly choke on my lunch trying not to laugh. Oh god.
It's a figure of speech. Does your figure have to run in the mornings too?
Do you always talk like this?
Talk like what? Talk like what?
Like what? I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, I struggle to think of small talk and settle on the obvious question.
How'd you two meet?
Win seems content to let Amy answer this question. You go on, tell him. Come on, tell him, please.
Someone in the housing department thought that we'd complement each other well, so we assigned rooms next to one another.
Well, it makes sense. You don't have half of your legs and she doesn't have most of her arms. So it would be quite a good match. Are they always coming in pairs? Misha and Shizune, Amy and Rin now, and Lily and Hanako. I bet they come in pair too. Complement each other?
Like shows and a suit.
Huh? Amy giggles at my confusion.
Put us together and we've got all our limbs. Get it? See? That was what I actually told you!
Come on, Hiso, you can't be that dumb, man. Ah! Hurts sometimes.
So I started helping Win get ready in the mornings, and that was that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along.
I see. Win chooses this moment to interject.
I have trouble with shirts.
Right, that seems fairly obvious.
Really?
Kind of? This isn't helping, but at least Amy seems to find the whole thing funny. That combined with the fact that Win is genuinely curious makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. I mean, you've got no arms. So, putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what? I'm going to just stop talking now. It'll save me a lot of trouble in the long run. Win nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage manner.
I see.
The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. It's really quite good. Amy finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise.
Ah, that was good.
As she busies herself with cleaning up her lunch, Win speaks up.
I'm thirsty. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Sorry.
With a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. She tosses me one that appears to be cranberry juice, one to Win that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with pink color scheme, and keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. Win dexterously stabs her straw through the top of her box and begins to drink. I'm once again impressed by how flexible she is, but this time I keep my comment to myself. Somehow I don't think either Amy or Win are the sort of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. Win especially so. Indeed, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she is missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that's a conscious decision is another matter. What would interest me really is, did she lost her arms by an accident? Or was she born with no arms? I'm honestly not sure.
So, Hiso, how'd you like it up here?
It's quite nice actually. I like high places for the view. Thanks for inviting me up here. And for the lunch too. Amy grins a 1000-watt grin. Got blinded by my grin. Pleased by my response, I suppose.
No problem. Feel free to eat with us next time too, okay? I won't make you lunch, but you can bring your own up here.
No lunch service? I don't know. Good strategy. Amy looks mock offended. Oh damn it, I thought he would be. That would be a good move. Somehow. Yeah, I'm a jerk sometimes. But I'm really kind. Well, enough of me already.
Trying to take advantage of my good nature?
Whoa. Whoa. This is a quite harsh response. The nerve! What? She giggles. Oh, she mocked me back.
Well, if that's your answer, I guess Ren and I will just keep eating lunch all alone.
I'm suddenly assaulted by the most heartrending puppy dog eyes I've ever seen Amy pounce. Kidding! I was kidding! I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location, and the company is okay too. Really? You just said okay, the company is great. You have one... I don't know. I kinda like her for her straight up person who doesn't hide behind anything, and for her really cheerful and lively person. But not as exaggerating as Misha is. Amy frowns a bit at my declaration of, okay, see? See? I knew this would happen. I knew it. But seems happy enough that I've accepted her invitation. I guess this makes us friends now. Or at least acquaintances. This guy. The lunch bell rings, signaling a return downstairs.
Win, you didn't finish your lunch again.
Oh,
I wasn't that hungry. If you don't eat more, you're going to fade away.
Win shrugs as if this is an acceptable risk. Come on, we'd better get going. The three of us head down the stairs together. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school. Meet people at your school. Go meet people, for fudge sake. So I head to the library to return a couple of the books I've finished reading. Oh, we will meet Hanako. I can feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. Walking inside, I see that there are about as many students here as there were on Tuesday. All the more evident from the almost total silence enveloping the room. As I drop the books I'd borrowed into the return slot in the counter, Yuko suddenly pops up from behind it, quite startled from the banging they make as they hit the trolley next to her. Ah, sorry Yuko, didn't mean to startle you.
No, that's fine. It happens a lot. I'm used to it by now. Can I help you?
I remembered her voice. It's okay. I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway. I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do. And after reading so much during my stay in the hospital, it's become a hard habit to break. I wander down to the fiction section toward the back of the library, scanning the bookshelves for anything that catches my eye. As I do look over to the corner where Hanako had been the last time I was here, not really expecting anything to come of it. And I'm going to end this episode here. I hope you enjoyed it so far. If you did, hit the like button for me. And if you want to tell me particularly what you liked about it or what you dislike even about it, Let me know in the comments below. And I hope I see you in the next episode. Stay tuned.